Muhammad is a prophet of God or not.
Thank you.
So this gentleman asked the question, is Muhammad a prophet of God? I asked him to define prophethood, and he's now defining prophethood.
Okay.
He said the first point is that a prophet has to be
bring miracles
and he has to bring prophecies. He has to prophesy the future. Right.
So that's Abdul's prophecy. Okay. So miracles, okay, a miracle is something that goes beyond the natural, beyond nature. Beyond the natural capacity of nature to bring about.
So magic magic. What's the difference between magic?
Are you going to cut me or are you going to let us talk?
I'm trying to understand.
You asked me to explain, so I'm explaining without you interrupting. Right? It goes beyond the natural cause of nature to bring about at any time.
It's beyond.
Beyond the capacity of nature to bring about at any time.
What we call the supernatural.
Right. Okay. So a miracle would be something. An example would be raising someone who's dead from the grave.
Right.
Maybe. Another miracle when Jesus went around to the blind, he healed him.
Right.
The deaf could hear.
Right.
So he did these miracles. He just spoke words.
I understand that.
Right.
So when
Prophecy,
Satan took Jesus.
Hold on. That's a prophecy. That's a miracle.
Okay.
Can you show me any prophecy or miracle that Muhammad did in your Quran?
Okay. So you don't want to talk about David?
No, let's stick to your Quran.
Right, okay.
Don't run.
No.
Yeah, stay.
You think I'm running?
Well, I'm asking you.
Well, I'm standing here.
Well, how can
talking.
I ask you?
I'm not running.
No. I'm not saying physically. I'm saying you're
intellectually.
It's a red herring.
Intellectually.
It's a red herring.
No, it's not a red herring.
You're throwing
no,
out there.
It's not a red
We're
herring.
talking about Muhammad.
If you let me, you talk, I listen. You talk, I listen. I'm trying to show you that your concept of prophethood is messed up.
Okay.
All over the place.
Prove it.
Okay. You said David is not a prophet.
Okay. Are you going to stick with Muhammad?
Exactly. So I just said your concept is wrong. It's messed up. You're saying prove it. When I bring a point to counter or to give evidence, you say, are we going to talk about Muhammad? Are we going to talk about prophethood? Yes or no? Before we go to Muhammad, whether he's a prophet or not, we need to establish what prophethood is. Understand or no? Understand or no? Do you understand?
So in this conversation,
you understand?
I do understand what you're saying, but let me clarify something.
So I'm trying to understand your view on prophet.
No, in this conversation, right? In this conversation so far, right? I've asked you a question.
I will answer your question. I will stay till 11 o'clock at night.
That's fine.
I have commitments. I'll cancel them. No, I'll cancel them. I'm not going anywhere. So coming back to the question, I'm trying to understand your concept. How you gave two criteria. Prophecy.
Respectfully. Let me finish.
Prophecy.
I'm sorry, guys. He's screaming. Yeah.
So you gave two criteria. Okay. One is what? Prophecy, and the other one is miracles. Okay. I can find both of these qualities in David, according to the Bible. Prophecy as well as miracle. Right? Why is David not a prophet?
Okay, so this is how you've shifted the conversation.
No, I'm not shifting. I am coming back to Muhammad directly.
No, you're not. If you were so confident.
Okay.
If you were so
let's move on to Muhammad. No problem.
Stick to Muhammad.
Okay. So you cannot answer the question on David.
Yeah, but I asked you the question. But what you're doing.
So I think it's being filmed. Everyone
David.
Everyone can clearly see who's digressing.
David.
I want to stick to the topic.
I know. I'm digressing. I asked him a question.
Honesty.
And then he asked me a question back.
At least admit that I cannot explain why David is not a prophet. I can't explain.
No.
Admit that and we move on right now.
Okay.
Right this second we'll go to Muhammad. And I'll show you the prophecies as well as the miracles. So let's stick to the topic. Let's stick to Muhammad. My name is Mr.
Come on. I know you're a big boy.
I'm a big boy.
What's your name, bro? Adnan. God will,
yeah.
Adnan. I just want to say dress your child, yeah? Say small respect.
God will win, inshallah. Yeah, inshallah.
Yes, amen. In Jesus' name.
Not you, God.
So in Jesus' name. Right, so Adnan.
No, in God's name. In God's name. Jesus said in God's name. He didn't say in my name.
All right,
Jesus said, I can do of myself.
Adnan.
I can't do anything of myself.
Adnan, stop throwing red herring.
Right, okay.
Adnan.
So, can you explain why David?
The question is this, yeah? You haven't answered the question. Now, I know you're working hard to digress. You're working hard to throw red herring.
I'm working hard to digress.
To look somewhere else.
I am working hard to
The
digress.
question is Muhammad. Can you answer about Muhammad?
Okay.
Can you answer Muhammad?
Okay. Did you understand? You asked the question, right? Yes. This is your question, what makes Muhammad a prophet? And then question mark at the end, right? That's the question. And in order to answer the question, I have to understand
What a prophet
as
is.
to what you mean by a prophet.
And I gave you what prophecy is, and I gave you what miracle is.
Yes, you gave me two.
Now answer the question.
Wait. Calm down. You gave me the standard. You said.
I'm running out of patience, Adnan.
Well,
I'll be honest
I
with you.
don't blame you, man.
I'm running
I
out
know.
of patience. Answer the
I
question.
usually have
Why
that kind of.
why are Muslims so afraid to talk about Muhammad?
Wait.
I
I will.
Then talk about it. Let's talk
Okay,
about it.
okay.
Let's talk about Muhammad.
Okay. Can we both be calm?
I am calm.
Very
I'm
calm
calm, but
discussion.
I'm running out of patience.
Okay.
Right?
Why are you
Talk
running out of
about Muhammad.
patience?
Are you
Because I'm
fasting?
saying,
I'm the one who's fasting here.
but that's
You're
irrelevant.
not. I'm the one
saying to
fasting.
you
I
now-
haven't had food for the last how many hours? It's been.
Too many hours.
I can't even remember how many hours it's been.
Adnan,
I haven't had food. So look, I'm not running out of patience.
I've seen you have discussion before. You're a lot more respectful.
Look at that, always.
I am respectful. I'm trying to respect
Now
you.
what I'm asking you is this, yeah? Okay, listen up from where we are. I asked you a question. You just said define your premises, yeah? Right? Define what you
And you
mean.
gave me two standards.
And I gave you the standards.
Miracle
okay?
and prophecy.
Right.
I understand.
And hold
Look,
on. Let me finish.
I'm not 5 years old.
And then you said, what do you mean by prophecies? What do you mean by miracles? Okay?
Right.
And I defined what I meant. So now I want you to respond to the question.
I am-
Don't go to David, don't go to Samuel, don't go to other prophets. Stick to Muhammad.
Okay, listen.
Why is Muhammad a prophet?
using
The
your
question I've
standard
asked
against
many
you.
times.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you for talking.
Yes.
Thank you for saying all these
Yes.
things. Now it's my turn. I'm saying in order to apply a standard to Muhammad or to ask a question about him, we must understand the question so that we can properly answer the question. Do you agree? Do you agree? Is that fair?
Yes.
Yes, it's fair.
but
It's fair. So
we've gone past
I'm trying to understand your standard because your standard, you yourself cannot uphold your standard consistently, even in the Bible. So how? But before you point a finger at me or him or her, yeah, you need to understand your own standard before you apply it on others.
okay,
Do you understand?
okay.
If I say you are not a good man, for example, and if I don't explain what I mean by good, how can I even say that to you? You're not a
Do you
good
know what I'm
man.
gonna do? Do you know what I'm gonna do?
I need to understand what good means first, and who does it apply to. I should be able to point out people according to my standard in my literature that this person is good because of that. That person is good because of that. He is not good because of that. So now, for that reason, you gave me a standard. Miracle and prophecy. Both
Are
of
you
these.
gonna show me the Quran?
I'm finishing. Both of these qualities can be found in David, and you said David is not a prophet. I am asking why. He has both of these qualities. He has prophecy. He has miracles. Why is he not a prophet? And if he's not a prophet, how can Muhammad be a prophet? If David has both these qualities, if you're not accepting David as a prophet, if you are not accepting David as a prophet, how on earth will you accept another man as a prophet?
Okay, Adnan.
So answer that question. Everyone wants an answer.
So I'm going to respond. Please do not cut me.
Yes,
I'm
David.
okay. So
that we can move on quickly.
Clearly,
I'm not digressing.
One second.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
you couldn't respond to Muhammad. Okay?
Let the people decide. Let the people decide. I have answers to all your questions. But before I answer your questions, I need to highlight the point that you yourself don't understand your standards. You don't know what prophet is. You don't know what a prophet is.
Muhammad, Adnan, let me finish. Yeah. Clearly, you couldn't respond to Muhammad. So now I'm going to ask you, because you just want to go into David so much. Let's go to David.
No. You raised
Let's
David.
go to David.
You mentioned.
You want to talk about David?
Yeah,
Let's go to
let's
David.
go to
Let's go to
David.
David. Show me the Bible where David's a prophet. Show me where in the Bible where David's a prophet. Show me in the Bible where David's a prophet.
Okay,
You want to take it there?
I will.
Show me where in the Bible where David's a prophet.
I will.
Show me then.
I will.
Show me.
I will.
Calm down. Show me. Right, we're going to see where the Bible says David's a prophet. I was trying to, I didn't want to go there. But
I got your question.
Okay.
I got your
I want to
question.
see where David is a prophet.
Okay.
Jesus is a prophet.
Okay.
Samuel's a prophet. Show me David's a prophet.
I asked you.
He's a prophet now,
I asked you. Wait. Hold on a second, guys.
Show me where David's a prophet in the Bible.
Yes. Calm down. Okay. Now I'm coming back to you.
The hole is getting deeper.
Yeah, of course I'm going into it right now. Watch,
We're trying to
Let's
get
go.
you out the hole.
We want to see where David's a prophet in the Bible.
Wait. When I asked you, there are witnesses there.
Listen, majority of people
Can I
are Muslims.
respond? Can I respond?
I'm standing. Is there anyone Christian here? No. Okay, one Christian. How many? Okay, two Christians. All the rest are Muslims. You have about 30 Muslims.
What about last week?
When you finish, I'll
So the
respond.
question is, where did the Bible say David is a prophet?
Okay.
Show me.
Good.
Show me.
Good question.
Show me.
Can I respond?
Yes.
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 So when I asked you a question earlier, what
Now-
is a prophet? Well, I'm responding.
I wanna see-
You don't have to like my response.
Keep
You
up
can
on
hate
that,
it.
keep up on
Yeah.
that.
So when I asked you earlier,
Show us where David the prophet.
I'm
not-
talking now.
Nah, I don't want to hear you
Acts
talk no more.
2:30
Oh, right.
say David was. So Acts
Well,
2:29 to 30. Fellow Israelites, I may say to you confidently of our ancestor David that he both died and was buried, and his tomb is with us to this day. Since he, David, was a prophet.
Guys, let him speak. It's recording, let him speak.
You didn't expect that, did you?
No, guys.
this is why before you point fingers at Muhammad, you need to understand your own
Guys,
scripture.
let's not
This
mock-
is the point I'm making.
Let's not mock
You don't
him.
know what you're
let's,
talking about.
Let's not mock him. We're not mocking him. We're just showing you that it exists.
Yeah, it's there. You can read it 10 times.
Maybe it's a different
Read
Bible.
it 10 times. It's there. You haven't read it.
Maybe have.
Or if you have read it but you didn't pay attention, obviously.
No, maybe have.
Guys, don't. No. Let's not mock him. We don't need to mock him.
No, we don't need to
No,
mock
guys,
him.
we don't need to mock him.
He's the brother. He's the
Guys,
brother.
guys.
He can make a mistake.
He
no
can make a
problem.
mistake.
He can make a mistake. No problem. Okay. So he made a mistake. It's clear that he made a mistake.
Acts 2:29 to 30.
It's clear that he made a mistake. So now,
He made a mistake. Okay, we don't need to laugh at him.
I knew that God had sworn to him. Okay, so David was a prophet.
yeah. So David was a prophet. Right.
Okay,
That's
no,
right.
no,
That's right.
Right.
I made a mistake.
So now it's clear that you clearly, and we are witnesses here. You clearly did not understand what prophethood is biblically. You did not understand. Is that clear?
Let me make clear what I said. Yeah.
You said David is not a prophet,
In the Bible, yeah, I
and then
did
you
say
asked me, show me where the Bible
I
says,
did.
and
did
it was
say-
shown to you.
One second. I
Right?
did say David was a prophet. I respond.
You did say
I
that,
put my hands up.
and
Right, so
you
let me
stand
respond.
corrected.
Let me respond.
So David is a prophet.
One second.
Now we're
David-
clear, yeah?
David's a prophet. Let me
Yeah.
respond. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm saying to you is, when you look throughout the Bible.
This is why I was insisting.
Hold on, Adnan, let me respond to what you said. Right. I'll put my hand in there, yeah? What I'm saying to you, in the Bible, there are different type of prophets, right? Okay? So for example...
So now you're gonna bring...
Hold on, let me explain, right? So for example...
be careful because...
Hold on.
Yeah.
So for example, in the Bible, you have people like Saul, yeah? One second. Saul prophesied, okay? But Saul was always known as a king, right? You have, even in the Bible, it speaks about... in the New Testament, when it says that there will be people in the church that will prophesy, okay? But we would not say that they were in the lineage of prophecies. That's in 1 Corinthians 13. It speaks about
Lineage
prophecy.
of prophets.
The lineage of prophets. When we're talking about
David
Moses,
was from
one second, we're talking
that
about,
lineage.
Hold on, one second. We're speaking about Moses onwards all the way to Jesus.
So are you saying...
Hold on.
What's your point? Before you
So my point is that-
give the hypothesis or evidence for the hypothesis, tell us what the hypothesis
Okay.
is. Are you saying David was a lesser of a prophet? Is that what you're saying now?
No, what I'm saying to you is that there's different types. Let me explain again.
So
there's different type of prophets.
So
One,
what category did David belong to?
Right. So David would have been like Saul. Saul who prophesied.
And
So
why
the
do you
word-
say that? Why reasons?
Why
your
would I
reasons,
say that?
your
Because
reasons why?
Because prophecy
Yeah.
is prophecy is basically speaking the word of God.
Right.
That's what prophecy is.
Right, so David
but
did. So-
prophesying
Yeah.
of something to come.
So did David speak the word of God?
David did speak the word
So
of God.
that's
yeah.
prophecy, right? It makes him a prophet.
Right,
So
right.
is Moses
hold on,
higher?
Hold on. Brother, can I finish what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So I'm saying to you, there's different types. For example, there's New Testament prophets. Okay?
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily. They're not necessarily come in the line of prophets. We believe that.
I'm asking now,
Okay.
clearly, can you tell us clearly what is the difference between Moses' prophethood, Jesus' prophethood, and David's prophethood? And how do you categorize? Based upon what standard? Where does the standard come from? Can you explain the standard biblically? And
so-
before you do it, be careful.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you say David prophesied, yeah?
Yeah.
And David was a prophet.
Yeah.
The question initially, in which we asked you, okay, is why should we then bring Muhammad into that category? Because
Right.
you're saying
But
David
it
the
has
prophet.
been shown.
You haven't shown that.
It
You
has
haven't gone
been
to David.
shown here conclusively that you clearly do not understand the biblical concept of prophethood.
Okay, so
because
no.
you made a huge error.
I made an error that David was
you
a
made an
prophet.
error.
But
So
how-
this is why before you ask Muhammad whether he's a prophet or not, or before you ask me, because I know what a prophet is. According to the Bible, according to the Quran, I know what a prophet is. I understand it clearly.
What's your definition?
So,
What's your
okay,
definition, bro?
so right. So if you admit, before we proceed, if you admit that you don't know what a prophet is biblically.
I've just told you what prophet is.
No, you
I told
haven't.
Yes, I
You
did.
haven't.
I did.
You haven't.
I did.
Okay,
Okay, well, okay. The only
If you
thing-
admit, we'll move on. We'll go straight to Muhammad right now. So if you admit I do not clearly fully understand the concept of prophethood in the Bible, and then we'll move on. Then I'll tell you why I believe Muhammad is a prophet. And
I've
what is a
explained
prophet?
to you that a prophet would come with two things. Yeah, a prophet would come with miracles, or prophets in the Bible prophesied of things to
One
come.
of them or
okay,
both?
right? Okay, so those are I've given you those definitions. Whether you receive that or not, okay, that's your problem.
Okay.
What I'm asking you is this: does Muhammad come into that category of
Yes.
miracles
Sallallahu
and
alaihi.
prophecies?
Okay.
Now show us where he comes into miracles and prophecies in the
Okay.
Quran.
Okay.
That was the question.
So okay, good. Now I'll let you go. No problem.
We go to Muhammad?
No, we'll go to Muhammad now.
Yes,
No problem.
okay, thank you.
Let people
Let's go
decide.
through all of
Let
that. Just
people
answer the
decide.
question.
We have had a discussion. I've made my points clear. We'll move on. Okay. Well, let's proceed. Let's make some progress. You asked about Muhammad whether he was a prophet, and you gave two standards, two criteria. Generally speaking, you said prophecy as well as miracles. Okay. Now I want to understand. What do you mean by prophecy and miracles before we apply them to Muhammad? Okay. So how do you differentiate between prophecy and prediction? For example, there are soothsayers. Let me finish my point. There are soothsayers who say things and they come to pass. They come to pass, and sometimes they're absolutely accurate, right?
Can you okay, because I was going to say, can you give me an example of one? But can you give me an example of one in the Bible? That would be a bit better.
Right.
Give me an example of one in the Bible.
No, prophecy I have no problem with. I know who's the prophet.
You said that there's miracles, the soothsayers who are able to predict something and it comes exactly to pass maybe hundreds of years.
Yes.
So give me an example in the
Okay,
Bible.
before I give you an example, do you accept that prophecies have to be explained?
No, can we
yes or no?
We jump into different things.
No.
Let's start
I'm
with the
trying to
miracles.
make this discussion fruitful, and you're not helping me.
Yeah.
Do you admit that prophecies have to be explained? They have to be explained.
Yeah.
They're not
Prophecies,
They're not self-explained.
In what sense? For example, give me an example.
For example,
Yeah.
a prophet says one thing, and then you have to link it with an event in the future, and then you have to explain why that prophecy links to that event in the future. Why that event or that incident is actually a fulfillment of that
That
prophecy.
sounds
So you have to.
confusing. Let me give you an
No, why is it
example.
confusing?
Let me give you an
Is
example.
anyone?
No, let me get.
Yeah.
No, just stop asking the crowd stuff.
Yeah.
Just stick to me, yeah.
Okay.
Let me ask you
Isaiah said.
let-
Wait, the book of Isaiah says suffering
me give
servant.
you- no, wait,
I'm
you're
giving an
asking-
example. Biblical.
Okay. No, you said no. you
Isaiah
said-
53
No, that's what I'm
talks
saying.
about.
That's not what I'm saying. You're not understanding what I'm saying. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You said soothsayer. You said we need to define the difference between a prediction and a prophecy.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm asking you is this, yeah, is you said that soothsayers are able to tell what's going to happen 400, 500
And you have to explain
Give
there.
us, give us an example of a soothsayer
I am.
in the Bible.
But are you not
Right.
listening to what
Are
I'm
you
trying
gonna
to?
listen-
No,
are you
are you
gonna
not
listen
listening
to
to me? I'm asking.
You know you have to
Before I
answer
give you an
my
example, you have to understand what we're talking about, right? Do you have to explain when you say Jesus, his crucifixion was foretold in the book of Isaiah chapter 53, suffering servant in the book of Isaiah 53.
There's many prophecies about Jesus.
Yeah, I'm talking about the crucifixion. It's foretold in the book of Isaiah 53, right?
Okay.
Yes? And it doesn't say Jesus, a man called Jesus, will be put on the cross in the
No, it
year.
doesn't- it doesn't say
It doesn't say that. So you have to explain. You have to expand on the prophecy. You have to interpret the prophecy, the words of God, to explain, to make sense of the
Not
prophecy.
really,
right?
not really. Let me tell
But
you
is
why.
it explicit?
Let me tell you
Go and
why.
read the passage.
Okay, let's
is
read
it clear?
Let's read
Is
that.
it explicit?
Let's read
Does it say the date, the
Okay,
name, the
no,
cross,
let's read
the
it.
people
Let's
who
read it.
crucify him?
No, are you talking to everyone? Or are you talking
No,
to
I'm talking
me?
to you.
Okay, let's read Isaiah 53. Let's look at prophecy. See, we haven't even got to Muhammad, but we'll stick to the Bible.
We'll go to Muhammad.
No,
I'm not going
you don't-
anywhere. Plenty
you
of time.
clearly don't want to talk about Muhammad.
Plenty of time.
Let's talk about.
No, we will talk about Muhammad.
Isaiah.
We'll talk about Muhammad. I want to talk about Muhammad. I love him.
But you don't want to talk to him. The
Sallallahu alaihi
first
wasallam.
question I asked you was about Muhammad.
Listen.
You still haven't.
Listen.
We spoke about
Listen.
David.
You see-
We spoke
you
about
see-
Saul. Okay. So
There's-
let's
at
speak to
least we all
Isaiah.
learnt one lesson today. That lesson is when you ask someone the question, understand the question yourself before you ask it to someone. Right? You need to know your terms before you. So when you ask someone, who are you? You are a good man. Are you a good man? So understand what you mean by good. The question can ask, the person can ask you, what do you mean by good? And then you can give your definition of good. Okay, and then that person can dissect your definition as well. So this is what we're doing right now. We need to get the definitions right before we move on to Muhammad. Simple. And once we get the definitions right, everything will fall into place. Isaiah 53, show me in Isaiah 53 that a man called Jesus will be crucified by the Romans. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. Thank you. It doesn't say that. So how do you link that prophecy to the crucifixion? How do you do that?
So let me read it and then we'll see.
It's called hermeneutics. Confusion. It's called hermeneutics. That's what it's called. I'm sure you don't know what hermeneutics is.
I don't know hermeneutics. Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Yes, I do.
So that's what we apply, right?
Okay, right. So what we're gonna do is look. Okay.
You're reading something I already know. I made the point.
Well,
so I'm asking.
Wait, one second.
Are you gonna?
Adnan, because you're talking a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, you said that there's no way.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, wait.
I'm not saying.
Okay,
I'm not saying anything.
You're saying that because you're saying you have to use hermeneutics, you have to use exegesis. You're saying that
Thank
we have.
you.
Right. So what I'm saying to you is this.
Am I wrong or right?
For us as Christians.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody who reads this, for me, it'll be clear. Let me read the reason why I think it'll be clear. Before, because you don't want to talk about Muhammad.
I'm a disbeliever. For example,
hold on.
You're saying there's a prophecy in the Bible about Jesus.
I know.
And I come to you as a disbeliever. I say, okay, hold on a second. You're claiming there's something in the Bible. So I'll ask you to explain it to me. And then you will go to book of Isaiah. You're not going to show me a man called Jesus was put on the cross by the Romans in the first century in a province called Judea. You're not going to show me that. It doesn't exist.
So why are you talking?
So let's make it simple, man. Let's make it simple. Let's not complicate. Don't fight a battle you cannot win. So the point is, we both agree we have to apply.
We're not agreeing. You let me read.
We have
you
to
don't want to
apply.
ask about Muhammad. Then I say, okay, you don't want to talk about Muhammad. So let's talk about Isaiah. You don't want to talk about Isaiah.
You obviously don't understand. You obviously don't understand what a logical discussion is.
Well, I'm asking.
We're trying to.
You said you've used Isaiah as an example. So let me read Isaiah. Let me read what your example.
Okay, read. Show me where Jesus was crucified.
Right. It doesn't say Jesus. We're going to speak. It's clear. Okay.
Okay. Before you read that,
the guy don't want me to. I'm going to read it.
Read it. Sorry, read it. I'll listen to it. No problem.
Who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For he grew up before him like a tender shoot and like a root out of parched ground. He has no stately form of majesty, but he should look upon him, no appearance that he should be attracted to him. He was despised and forsaken, a man of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And like one from whom men hide their face, he was despised, and he did not esteem him. Surely our griefs he himself bore.
You finish.
You're
going deeper and deeper into the hole.
The chastisement of our well-being fell upon him.
Yeah.
Okay, he was chastised. He was scourged. He was whipped. Okay.
And what the point is,
So I'm saying that only Jesus Christ was prophesied to be pierced for our sins.
Very good.
Can you show me
so you just what you just did, you did exegesis.
Right.
You did exegesis. You indulged in. Let me finish. You indulged in hermeneutics. You read a text and then you said, "Tell me who else was pierced like that." So you're trying to link.
It was clear.
Yeah.
Was it clear?
It's not. No. Hold on a second.
This is not clear.
It's not clear. No.
So our prophets were
I'll tell you why.
Our prophets were
Yes.
scourged.
I'll tell you why.
Okay,
Let me explain.
sins?
Have you read the Jewish commentaries on this passage? Have you?
No.
Yeah. So you don't know, right? who was pierced or not, right? You don't know, right?
But
Jewish
I don't know what the
rabbis.
Bible says.
Okay. I recommend a book for you. Christopher North. He has written a commentary on Deutero-Isaiah, this part of Isaiah in particular, and the book is called The Suffering Servant in Deutero-Isaiah. It's very specific. It deals with this very issue. Go and read the book, and then your mind will be blown away. The amount of interpretations, the amount of different meanings of this particular passage are to be found in Christian as well as Jewish literature. So you are one-track minded. You can't see anything else. You can only see Jesus. And even for that, you have to explain. You have to explain that this is Jesus. Now, so I was trying to save this 15 minutes you wasted on this.
The thing is, I was explaining. I was saying to you.
Okay.
I was saying to you.
Okay.
But there's only.
So you just wasted time.
No.
You wasted 10 minutes.
Okay. Let's go back to what we're saying. We're saying. Hold on. We're saying, what's the difference between prediction and prophecy? And I'm saying prophecy is so specific.
It's not specific.
Right. Now can you show me how this is not specific?
Because it doesn't. You are saying it talks about Jesus.
I'm saying that only Jesus was pierced for our sins.
Okay, so you're explaining.
For our sins.
So you are.
Well, it says it there.
Are
He
you?
was pierced for our sins.
Are you? Is there an inference here or not? Are you inferring?
Adnan,
Are you inferring?
Adnan, it's just basic, clear English. Was Jesus, according to Christians, you supposed to make
Exactly, it's basic, clear English. Are you inferring? Are you inferring? If the text said Jesus, a man called Jesus, the son of Mary, will be pierced and crucified by the Romans in the first century in the city called Jerusalem, and Pontius Pilate will be the man responsible for announcing a death sentence on him. If I read that, no debate, no questions. I wouldn't be discussing it. The fact that all of this is not there, you are saying it is Jesus, and I'm saying you are inferring. You are inferring. You're saying this refers to Jesus. You're making that claim.
Again,
Did you hear me?
Jesus, I heard what you said. You're saying that because it didn't have specifics, dates,
Yes.
times,
Yes.
everything else.
Yes.
What I'm saying to you,
Yes.
what makes it so specific
Yes.
is if it claims exclusivity.
Okay.
When this thing can, for example,
Okay.
there's certain, wait, hold on. There's certain things.
never finishing
there's
this one,
certain
man. I'm telling you.
things that we can only attribute to
Okay,
God. For example.
very good point.
Well, hold on.
Let's
let me finish.
assume-
No. Let me finish. Let me
No,
finish.
I'll let you finish.
Okay.
I'll let you
Right?
finish.
There's certain things we can probably.
Everyone, listen to him carefully.
Listen.
Listen
There's
to him
certain
carefully.
things we can only attribute to a certain particular person, like perhaps to yourself or to God. So attributes that He has, that He's all knowing.
it's specific. You're saying it's specific.
So what I'm saying to you
Only
is
for
that
Jesus.
that here is saying that this man was pierced for the sins of mankind.
Very good.
According to Christians, who was pierced for the sins of for mankind,
very
for our
good.
transgressions.
Very good.
Who was that?
Okay.
Are you gonna
I'm
answer that?
coming back to that.
No, don't come back. Answer that. Because
According
you
to
would
Paul-
answer about
according to who?
Muhammad. No,
According to-
you wouldn't
according
answer
to
about
who?
Muhammad.
According
Now
to
we're
Paul.
going to the Bible.
Yeah, I'm
Now we're
answering
going
the
to the Bible.
question, man.
Okay, answer that.
Yes.
Answer that. Yeah.
According to Paul, it was Jesus. Yes. According to Paul, it was Jesus.
Okay,
Yes.
so according to the Bible,
According to Paul, and I believe Paul was a liar. I believe.
right.
Okay.
So
So
you've
let's talk.
agreed. So we've agreed that in the Bible it says that it was Jesus Christ.
Yes, Paul.
That was pierced for.
Paul.
Wait, in the Bible, it's Paul in the Bible.
In the New Testament, Paul says it's Jesus.
Right,
Yes.
Is the New
Yes.
Testament the Bible?
Yes.
Why is it so hard to say the New Testament is the Bible?
Yes, in the
Right,
Bible.
okay.
Yeah, in the
So we-
Bible.
So we agree.
In the Bible.
So we
Yes.
agree. So we agree.
We
right?
agree it's in the Bible.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Right. So we
Yes.
have a prophecy and it's specific to only one person
Right.
in the Bible.
Now, very good.
Okay. Right.
Very
so
good.
now let's go back to the question I asked from day .1.
Okay.
What makes Muhammad a prophet? You haven't answered that. You have not answered
Have
that.
you explained? Have you explained? Have you explained?
You answer.
Wait.
You answer.
Let me finish.
You answer.
I listen to you. I listen
You
to you.
answer.
Can you listen to me now? Okay.
if you-
You said. Wait. No problem. Don't worry.
He will answer. He will answer. We'll be here.
We all breathe this air. It's
Answer
free.
the question.
Okay.
Answer the question. What makes Muhammad a prophet?
Answer the question. Answer
Yes,
the question.
because-
It's not going to help
man,
you.
How long
It's
will I
not going to
talk
help you.
for?
Wait.
How long will I ask the question
Okay.
for? I ask the question.
Can I respond?
What makes Muhammad
Can
a
I
prophet?
respond?
Yes.
Can I
If you
respond?
Yes.
Using your criteria, that particular prophecy is specific. He's claiming it's specific. I'm saying it's not. And I'm sure he does not understand.
Adnan,
Wait.
sorry, I'm going to
I'm trying to talk.
Answer the
Are you-
question about Muhammad.
Okay.
Answer about Muhammad.
If you want to walk away, you can walk away.
I will walk away if you don't answer.
Okay, if you can't
No,
have
but
a
I'm saying to you,
discussion,
I don't mind
why
having a
are you
discussion.
struggling?
No, because
Why are you struggling?
I showed you.
But you don't let me finish.
No. You're going off track again.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm sticking to the topic.
you're not.
This
You're
is
not.
the topic.
No.
Prophecy
No.
is the topic we're discussing.
Yes.
Prophecy.
Right, okay.
Prophecy is the topic we're discussing.
Go back to what makes
I'm going
Muhammad.
back to the
Why don't
prophecy.
you like to talk about Muhammad? Why do Muslims struggle to talk about Muhammad?
I love Muhammad.
Yeah? Look, I've gone into my Bible.
I have delivered lectures.
I've gone into I've gone into
Hello.
I've gone into Isaiah 53. I've gone to Acts. I've gone throughout the scripture. But yet you're
At
afraid to
least
go to your Quran.
free your mind.
Why can you not talk about Muhammad?
Can you remain
Why
silent?
can you not talk about Muhammad?
Can you remain silent
No,
for 1
I
minute?
can't. I want to know
You
why
can't
you're
remain
not-
silent.
No,
How are you going to talk?
because you're not responding.
I'm
No,
responding.
you're not. You're talking
No, you
about
don't-
the
you
Bible.
don't like my response.
No. Because you're changing the subject.
Okay.
So the question specifically.
The question is,
why
what
should we
makes
believe?
Muhammad a prophet?
Yes, I want the
And
answer.
I am asking, what is a prophet?
So you're gonna answer the question.
And we're still
Answer the
discussing
question.
that.
It's the same thing.
So what is a prophet?
It's the same thing.
What is a prophet?
No. I've
What is a
answered
prophet?
you
You haven't.
over and over
You
again.
have not
I've
answered me.
answered you over and over again.
Can we
and you can't
time
answer
them
it.
to
Okay.
2 minutes?
So what I'm saying to you is this, right? What I'm saying to you is this, yeah?
Can we time
Is
them?
Initially, I asked you the question. This is summarized.
Carry on, you can
We
repeat
can't- we
it.
can't.
You can repeat it 10
Yeah,
times.
no, we're going to summarize. It's over.
No,
The
stop.
subject's getting over.
Gordon, don't run away.
Okay.
Gordon, don't run away.
I'm responding.
Don't run away.
Don't
Don't
run
run
I'm standing
away.
right here.
Don't run away.
I'm running, I'm standing at the same time.
Exactly. But you
It's
said you're
illogical.
gonna
Shut up.
summarize and go. Don't
Okay,
go.
let's
your
summarize.
time.
What you need, we're getting
So, Adnan, my friend here, okay, you said, right, that I've asked you the question. I've said, what makes Muhammad a prophet?
And I asked, what do you mean by
wait,
prophet?
let me respond. You said, I know what you said. You said to me, okay, what, you know, it's a fair question, but you've said to me, okay, what makes a prophet? Okay, you need to clarify the standard, the terms. And I said, okay, fair enough. All right. So I said, if a prophet comes with prophecies or miracles, he said, okay, now you have to be even more specific. Show me.
You and I have a discussion.
Show me.
Be fair.
Okay. Stop.
Believe me, you know my answer. You know my answer.
Okay, stop.
Adnan.
So then I asked.
I'm clarifying. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not saying nothing wrong about it.
Okay,
I'm there.
sure.
So then you've been more clear. You said be more specific. Wait. You said be more specific. You said what do miracles? Define miracles and prophecies. No, you didn't just want me to say miracles and prophecies. You said define it. I then defined according to me, and I even used texts like Acts 2 and also Deuteronomy 18 to say this is what according to what a prophecy is.
And I explained how do you get to a prophecy? How do you explain?
And then you said, and then the miracles, I not only explained it to you, but also gave you examples of miracles. For example, raising people from the dead, healing blind, and so on and so forth. Okay? And I've said to you, right, I've given you scriptures, I've given you explanations, I've given you hermeneutics, exegesis. Then you've gone over to David. Then you've gone over to David, okay? And you said, all right, David falls into the category of prophets. I said, okay, I agree with you. Okay,
no,
I was wrong. I was wrong,
wrong,
and I admitted, and I put my hands up. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, I was wrong. Look at this guy. Okay, good is wrong. Hey, flashing lights.
We're not celebrating.
Okay. So yeah, but he is.
We're fine with that.
No. So what I'm saying to you, fair. Okay, so. Okay, David falls in the category, yeah? Right, you said you can prove miracles, you can prove prophecies. Yes, fantastic, you can prove it with David, but why can you not prove it with Muhammad?
10 seconds.
Why can you not prove it with Muhammad? Prove it with David, you prove it with Moses, you prove it with Jesus, prove it with Muhammad.
Stop.
Right.
Stop.
So I want you to prove it with
2
him.
minutes.
My time now. You can't interrupt me.
I won't.
You cannot interrupt
I won't
me.
interrupt you.
You cannot
but
interrupt
stick to
me.
the subject.
No.
Don't talk about David.
Alright,
you know what?
No,
If you're not going to talk about the
his
subject,
time.
I'm going to walk off.
No, I am talking about the subject.
Okay.
Okay.